playing guitar, I really felt like I'm kind of shooting darts in the dark, or arrows in the dark, and I didn't really know what I'm doing. You know, I used to listen to these kind of heroes, these kind of sounds, or these sounds. So good. And I got very inspired, and one of the things that is in these masters playing is something a little deeper than just a scale or a pentatonic or a lick. And I want to talk about a few ways, sort of a few points of how to practice better, how to practice to get good at guitar faster. And I actually assembled a few things that I wish I knew earlier on, because I just lost some time, and I want to save this time for you. One of the reasons I started this channel is I kind of wanted to make videos for myself when I was in middle school, you know, kind of telling my old self, like, hey, check this out, listen to this, pay attention, you know. So I just want to save this time for you, and let's just dive in. This point is crucial and will actually make you progress way faster than you imagine. It's pretty simple, and you think you're doing it, but you need to do it right. So check this out. The idea is learning mini phrases, but really feeling them, understanding them, and being able to move them around the board. What I mean is this: there's a lot of information in very short lines. For example, when I'm just playing this simple line, I'm actually also articulating the chord C or C7. So I'm playing these, and I'm actually hitting a lot of the chord tones in C7. So it's just a simple line, right? But actually it holds a lot of information. The same as what's interesting about all these phrases, these mini lines, is that there's a lot of attention and respect to the center, and kind of like playful idea with the tension and release. The 9. If you are in New York, please come to the release show, which is January 19th at New Blue. I'll be very excited to share the music live and eventually resolving. So although you might know some of these phrases as licks or ideas, and again, I don't know where I got this phrase exactly, it's just kind of like the language of this kind of bluesiness, if you will, or expression of this kind of feeling. But what I'm suggesting is not just knowing the line, but also understanding how it works against the center. So really slowing it down, maybe wow, 3, 1, 6, flat 3. And if you have these micro bands, or all these details are important to play, but I think if you hear them, if you kind of tag them emotionally, you can actually kind of use these building blocks and turn them into a language where it's all possible and it's very flexible. And this is exactly what we're trying to do. Music is the art of listening. So I want you to close your eyes and listen to this. And think what this makes you feel. Now, I'm going to do this one more time. You can keep your eyes closed for one more second and listen to this. And think what this makes you feel. And now let's compare these two sounds. And the reason I want to do it this way, let's listen. So these are two very distinct colors. First one is C major 7, very, very beautiful sound, versus the second one, which is also beautiful, but way harsher, and this is C diminished over A in this case. What I'm trying to show you is that once we attach emotions, once we listen in a very specific way to sound, to chords, to scale, we can actually learn much faster. Now this is a really kind of simple thing, right? Saying like, oh, there's a difference between the sound of C major 7 and the sound of C diminished. One is dot dot dot, and the other one feels maybe harsher, you know, more tension, if you will. You can describe it however you want to, but the idea here is tagging. And this is one of the things that it took me a while to understand, because once you start doing that, you can start feeling all these progressions, and it's easier to make sense of songs, of lines, of everything, because you start seeing the repetition in the information. The same way we talk and, you know, we speak English, and there is repetition because it's a language. So today, tomorrow, this week, every few minutes, stop yourself, listen, close your eyes, and say, wow, this makes me feel in a certain way. This sound makes me feel in a certain way versus... Again, there's no good or bad, it's just a feeling. Once we start tagging, we'll get better much faster. Know the framework. If we're talking about these kind of ideas, they live in an environment, in a neighborhood. And I remember pretty clearly when I started playing, so sometimes I would have a line, you know, I was like, oh, okay, but I didn't see the context. I didn't understand the neighborhood that it lives in, so I was kind of stuck, and it was much harder to actually utilize the phrase or adjust it. So what I'm saying is, let's understand the framework. So if we're playing some stuff like that, so this is functioning within C major pentatonic, which is basically just 5 notes, right? So let's have a quick look at this framework right here in one position. So this would sound like this: C, D, E, G, A. I'm saying the notes because I want you to tag them. Again, I know you know the C major pentatonic, but I want you to really know it. So C, D, E, G, A, C, D, E, G, A. That's it, right? And maybe another C there. But if we feel it, if we truly see the repetition, it's easier to create. So don't underestimate the power of the simple framework to see it, hear it, and feel it, and then utilizing these mini ideas on that framework. Time. When I'm talking about time here, I'm actually talking about priorities. The reason I'm saying that in this kind of way is because a lot of us, myself included, always felt there's not enough time. But the truth is, our priorities are sometimes not in the right place. Now, of course, we all are busy. Everybody has their full life, and not everybody wants to be, a professional musician. But I would say that whether you are a professional musician, you want to be, or you just want to get good at guitar music and have it as a hobby, a serious hobby, or what have you, I think the idea of consistency, the idea of dedicating clear time in the day for music or for creation of whatever it is that you like. Of course, if you want to run. If you want to play guitar. But being specific and being clear, so literally opening your calendar and putting, a slot of time. Maybe it's 20 minutes, maybe it's 15 minutes, maybe it's an hour. But having this time for yourself that you deciding that you're creating is super, super helpful. And I think it's sort of like an agreement with yourself that you're like, okay, I'm doing this. I'm for real doing this. And I'm not trying to kind of like approximate. And of course, maybe some days you something happens, you're sick, you need to work, you need to help your friend to move, whatever it is. But in general, you can create this schedule where you have time. Even if it's 20 minutes in the morning or at the end of the day, it's in the calendar. I'm going to do it now. So I think this is helpful, and it was helpful for me, so I want to share this. When somebody starts playing, I feel like it's easier, quote unquote, to get inspired, but sometimes people kind of lose it. And for me, I think one of the ways that I get inspired is by listening and checking out the master. So let's listen to this for a second. So good. Just listening to it now, I kind of want to transcribe it and understand what's happening in the play. Now, the reason I'm saying it is because don't lose it. You can always do it. There are artists, whatever it is. You like jazz, you like Brad Mello, you like Keith Jarrett, you like Pat Metheny, you like BB King, you like, you know, Leonard Cohen, whatever it is, whatever makes, you know, your heart tick, listen to that. You know, kind of like connect to that energy of it's so good, right? That's these sounds, this energy of music and life. And I think we can do that every day and get inspired by the stuff that we already like. Like, you don't need to practice everything in one day. And I think always trying to connect to stuff that actually makes you want to play guitar is really crucial. So, you know, maybe it's just a video or two. And, you know, for me, I always have these specific videos that I go back and like, oof. And sometimes I put them on my desktop and hit it every day. I'm like, wow, it's so inspiring just to see it. So the bottom line of this is checking out music that you actually already like and connecting to it and coming out of that. Listen to that phrase and be like, ooh, I gotta play that. Thank you so much for being here and listening. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace out.